What's up, everyone? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron. Today we're checking out the new album Hard Reset by the band The Word Alive. This is the seventh studio album from the Arizonian metalcore band since they formed in 2008. And surprisingly, this is my first time reviewing any of their music on my channel. I've only really listened to their debut album Deceiver, which dropped in 2010. That to me still holds up pretty well today. Their 2016 album Dark Matter, and just a few songs off of their last album that they released in 2020 titled Monomania. I gotta admit, after going through their discography, I wasn't really too impressed with their later work leading up to this new album, but it seemed like they were going in a different direction with Hard Reset. And as what one of my viewers commented on my New Music Friday video announcing that this album was going to be coming out, I really hope that there's some surprises on this thing. The album opens up with the song The Word Alive is Dead, which is a really cool song. I like how they're kind of announcing that they're going through rebirth, they're exiting from the cocoon and rising from the ashes. They're going to be doing something new, and I love the monotone vocals with the slow-paced drums. It does a great job of building up the hype as the song peaks with a scream and a pretty decent sounding breakdown. And then we go into the title track song, Hard Reset. It seems pretty promising, like they're really delivering on this new sound that they've been kind of talking about and promising and building it up. And the chorus, however, was just all right. The lyrics, they were kind of a letdown for me, as they don't really say too much. I did enjoy the kind of vocal duet between the clean and the distorted vocals going into the second chorus, and I gotta admit the guitar solo was actually pretty good too. I enjoyed that part, how it played into the motion, making it feel just a lot heavier, and it flows really well. It's not just, fast guitar playing that doesn't really serve any purpose. The solo fit, it felt like it belonged there, which is kind of rare in metalcore. And then we have the song Strange Love, which I had a really hard time getting into this one. The verses feel really dated, and I couldn't really connect with the hook and all the silly metaphors in the chorus. They just felt very cliche, like something we've heard so many times before. This song, just overall in terms of songwriting, felt very uninspired. The breakdown kind of helped it from being a complete dud. However, they just dropped that energy, which is going to be something that they do continually in every single song after the breakdown. One of Us, featuring Bad Omens, has references to their song titled 2012 off of their debut album Deceiver. It follows the storyline lyrically, I guess. Looking at them side by side, it was kind of hard to tell. I felt like they had to tell me that this song was connected to 2012 in order for me to really get it. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to make that connection. Even knowing that 2012 exists and knowing that song fairly well, it has some interesting musical choices, and it does have some interesting musical nuances throughout it, but overall 2012 is just a way better song compared to its sequel. The chorus in this is very just generic metalcore. The verses are pretty boring. It just felt like it just felt like lazy songwriting, to be completely honest. The bridge was kind of getting there in terms of energy and sort of originality, but then it just falls right off. And then we have the song New Reality, where they said that this song is about killing your ego. And I don't think I would have been able to pick that up from the lyrics, because they don't really say anything that's close to that. It almost sounds like the opposite. It almost sounds like he's getting on his high horse and pointing at someone, and his ego is, I don't know. It just wasn't, the connection wasn't really there for me. They don't really communicate too well, and that's what my issue is with most of the lyrics throughout this album. The chorus sounds like basically everything else you've heard at this point, something you would hear on the radio. The breakdown is basically the same thing that they've always been doing as well. And then we have the song Hate Me, which is kind of their slowish song. At least that's what it sounds like. It's very radio friendly, basically as radio friendly as it gets. So the chorus is just really uninspired, and the whole thing, it just sounds very unoriginal. By this point in the album, this is where things fall off really hard. And now we have the actual slow song titled Slow Burn. It feels like it's unearned, which is kind of weird to say, but it feels like with metalcore, you just have like 5 or 6 like heavy, hard hitting songs that get you pumped up, songs that get you excited, and then they kind of earned their moment to kind of chill out. And I feel like they just haven't. I feel like they haven't done that. The energy just continually goes down, and then finally you hit this, and you just start yawning, and you become very bored. And then you have the song "Fade Away" featuring Craig Mabbitt. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, the vocalist from Escape the Fate. This is a decent attempt at trying to wake you up, but it still is just, it's kind of boring. Their emphasis is just so much on the wrong parts. There's a huge emphasis on just drums in the verses with vocal isolation where it feels very just generic metalcore. And then once you get to the chorus, there's just a huge emphasis on this soaring chorus. Listen to the cleans. Music is just kind of doing stuff that you can't really hear. It's mostly just noise with drums in the background. It's very formulaic. Overall, the songwriting, it isn't focusing on the right things that I feel like should have been in this new The Word Alive rebirth. It's like they're afraid of commitment almost. When you get to the bridge and the breakdown of this song where Craig Mabbitt, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his last name, where his feature is, the song comes to life. You can really hear it. It's not just the distorted vocals, but it's just the overall music. It's like the band just starts playing and people are starting to get into what they're doing. But they're afraid to like keep that going. So it just dies off. They do this little vocal isolated pre-chorusy kind of thing, and they go into the chorus, which to me completely kills the song after the energy finally got up. And honestly, the rest of the album is it's tough. It's not good. A New Empty and Static Rain are just generic radio play music, completely soulless. There's nothing really interesting, nothing memorable going on whatsoever. And then we have Invisible Army, that actually does kind of have something just a little interesting going on. The bass line helps the verses a little bit. The breakdown has some cool sounds. But, I mean, it's just, they kill it, man. Every time after the breakdown, they absolutely kill it with that stupid formulaic thing where they do just like a numbed down, bare bones version of the chorus, and it's kind of edgy, and then it goes into the actual chorus, and it just kills all the energy that they just brought up. And then we have Nocturnal Future, which again, it's kind of getting there just a little bit. It's almost a good song. The verses, however, are boring. The chorus felt just unoriginal as could be, but the bridge, no matter how cheesy the bridge is, it just worked. It worked really well with the breakdown. The breakdown sounded kind of cool. It's got a good guitar melody going on. They just happened to stab it in the heart right afterwards by just, again, killing the vibe. And that brings us to the closing track, War With You. And this is kind of weird because it's nice to hear the drums doing something different. I feel like they've been doing the same thing throughout this entire album, specifically in the verses. I mean, you could literally just take the drums from each verse and plug them into different verses, and you basically got the same thing, especially if you slow it down to the right tempo, which honestly, it isn't that far off either. It's just nice to hear him playing something a little different. The feature from first to last is amazing. He adds a lot to this song, adds a lot of depth. His vocals sound fantastic. But then the music just, it falls apart. They just kill it. They absolutely kill it. And the whole song is just, I don't know. It's not a good closing track. It's not even really a good song. This one, I was hoping for a little bit more. I was hoping for, to end this on a high point. And they almost did with the feature, but then it just, it didn't work. I was excited for this album, especially after the first 2 songs. I felt like, they were kind of going in the right direction. They were getting it. They said that they were listening to critics, they were listening to their fans, and they decided to change their sound to appeal to them more. Something that bands, especially metalcore bands, don't really do. Lots of times they don't care about their past fans, and they don't care about what the more hardcore fans, the ones that they ganged when they were underground, they don't really care what they feel like. I mean, we get that with Wage War, Parkway Drive. There's a lot of bands, and I get it. People got to change. It's hard to do stored vocals all the time. Sometimes you want to change your sound, but it doesn't mean you have to make bad music. And I feel like one thing that The Word Alive just, it really hurts them is their transitions after the breakdowns. They do a breakdown, and usually it has a feature, which I'll talk about that in a second. But they do a breakdown, and it basically makes the song. It makes it. And then they do like this fade out thing. So it makes it feel like the breakdown is a completely different part of the song. It doesn't even sound like it's part of the song. It doesn't feel like it belongs there whatsoever, because the rest of the energy in the song just dies out after that, and they go into a cheap, crappy, generic sounding chorus that absolutely just kills all the great sound and all the good times that they made within that breakdown. Also, the drums and all the verses, like I said, are basically just they're just resampled over and over again. It sounds like they just laid down a drum track and they just copied and pasted it all the way through each song. The choruses were all pretty much the same, soaring soul. It's just the lyrics weren't really there. They were all basically just empty lyrics. The back half of this album was just very boring. It doesn't feel like it really goes anywhere, which, I mean, like I said they changed, but they only lasted for like maybe 2 songs, and they went right back to doing basically all the bad stuff that they said they were going to change. In fact, I would say they got worse at it. I would say that this album is actually a step in the wrong direction. It makes it very forgettable. The features in this were the only thing that were good. Without the features, this whole thing would just, it would be so much worse. So with all that said, I gotta give Hard Reset by The Word Alive a 2.9 out of 10. I know that this was probably a pretty harsh review. I don't really know how people are, I don't know. I don't know how they're taken to this album. So leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of Hard Reset. Let me know what you rate it. Let me know what your favorite song is. If you think I'm completely wrong, let me know why. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing what they changed in their sound. Maybe they did do something to make it better. I'm just not getting it. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know also what you want me to review next. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. It helps me out so much with YouTube's algorithm. It'll keep my videos popping up in your YouTube recommended. Just because you're subscribed and ring the bell icon doesn't mean YouTube is going to show my videos to you. So the best way to do that is to give the video a like. And if you want to help support me, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon as well. And I just thank you guys so much for just taking time to listen to me sit here and talk about music. And thank you so much for just constantly coming back. There's so many of you guys who continually come back and listen to me. And I know that like this video, I can be kind of harsh sometimes, but you guys stick with me. Again, this is just my opinion. Somebody commented in my last video saying that, you know, my videos are just based on opinion and not fact. Well, music is 100% opinion. I don't take myself seriously whatsoever. I really hope you guys don't either. And I hope you have a good rest of your day or nights whenever you have me watch this. And I will talk to you guys next time.